Hey, Cheetah readers. Today we're Cheetah researchers, and I'm going to share a document with you that was created specifically to help you with your research into inventors and inventions. So I will give your teachers this link, and when you get this link, you will have the option of using 3 websites or 3 databases to help you with your work. We're going to go ahead and start with the databases. So databases are created specifically for research, where someone gathers the information, someone checks to make sure that that information is correct, and then someone makes sure that the database is created in a way that helps students learn and do research. So all 3 of these databases are available in Clever. I have favorited them. So when I go to my page, you can see I've favorited World Book, Gale, and PebbleGo. And when you're in these databases, you will be able to browse and search for inventors. And once I get to some of these, sometimes they're going to ask me for, most of them are going to ask me for a password. Now, we don't share passwords online. So what I'm doing is, for the purpose of this video, I'm using the password. Once I've created the video, I will embed these passwords onto this page on the whiteboard, so you'll be able to see them. So now that I'm in World Book, I have a couple of choices, right? I can choose Kids, Discover, or Student. I'm just going to start on Discover. We're in 5th grade. It says 5th grade plus, right? Now I can just search for inventors. I'm going to find, it said 135 articles about different inventors. One of the things I like about World Book is that it gives me a picture next to many of them, so I can get a little bit more information about what it might be about. And you could browse through the list this way. You could also, if you already know the name of your inventor, you could do a search. I know about Sarah Boone, who helped make the ironing board better because it wasn't good for ironing women's clothes, and she saw a need for that. And you could search for the individual inventor, and you could look for that article. In addition to World Book online, you could click on Gale. And when you get into Gale, there's this really great feature that says browse topics. And wouldn't you know it, inventors is a topic that elementary school students often do research on. So I'm going to go ahead and browse down to inventors. There it is. And when I click on inventors, you'll see that there's a couple of different things. I could look at book articles, magazine articles, news articles, pictures. We talked about how pictures sometimes help us make choices. I can also look at the biographies. Biographies are stories of the lives of people who have made inventions in this case, because we are in the invention category. And I can continue. I can go all the way ahead. Again, if you know what you want to look for, right? So maybe I want to look for Elmer Sperry. Here I have an encyclopedia on Elmer Sperry, and I can read about the additional invention that Elmer Sperry helped create. In addition to Gale, there's also PebbleGo. Now, I just want to remind you that these are available in Clever. When I click on PebbleGo, it's going to ask me to maybe put in a username and password. It should only ask you that one time. That will be available on our slide. And I can do the same thing. I can just type in inventor. And when I do that, I'm going to search for inventors. And now I'm getting pictures of famous inventors who have contributed to our world in some way. So we have 3 separate databases: World Book Online, Gale Elementary, and PebbleGo. In addition, I threw on here because we can find lots of great information using Google, searching with a search engine to look for a website. but they're not always enough. And so these can be supportive. They can help you make a choice or explore as you're trying to choose your inventor. So the first link is to take a quiz about Black inventors. And I thought this was interesting because I think that there's some good graphics that accompany this, pictures that help you make choices. But it's a series of questions where you make a guess about something that happened. So, for example, this says, well, Daniel Hale Williams didn't invent the procedure. He was the first person to successfully complete this surgery. What was it? Wisdom tooth removal, open heart surgery, appendectomy, or tonsillectomy? I don't know. Open heart surgery sounds impressive. I was right. In 1893. Holy moly, that's a long time ago. He was the first surgeon to successfully complete an open heart surgery. That seems like a pretty important contribution. There's a kitchen product used that made cooking and baking easier. I don't know. Let's learn more about Willis Johnson. So that's the first website link on the chalkboard. The next one is the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Now, this website is really cool for a couple of reasons. One, it gives you a list, not just of the people who made the thing or the invention, but also right next to it, the actual name of the thing that they invented. So as I'm browsing through this list, maybe I stop and I go, oh, wait a minute. The windshield wiper, yeah, seems important. Someday we'll get rain again. And when we do, to drive safely, we're going to need windshield wipers. So now we could read about Mary Anderson and her contribution to the world that we live in through her invention of the windshield wiper. Now, the last item on the chalkboard, the last website, is 120 things you probably didn't know were created by Black inventors. This is a pretty fun list because it tells you what the invention was, and then it gives you a link to a brief biography of the person who invented it. Potato chips, for example, created by George Crumb. A little irony there in that the man who created potato chips has Crumb in his name. And then you could read a brief biography about Mr. Crumb, the potato chip creator. All right, cheetahs, you have 3 databases. You have 3 websites. Happy research, cheetah readers.